But instead of her trying to understand and ask, she jumped to conclusions and she sent me straight down to the psych emergency room without even trying to necessarily understand me. Hey guys, so now that it's been about a week and I'm a little bit more calm, I can fully explain. Now that I'm calmer, I can actually talk about my situation with my checkup last Tuesday. In my last video, which I will link down below, I talked about how last Tuesday I had my checkup, and when you go for your oncology checkup, your 1 month, it's usually just blood work, symptom check, see how you're dealing with medication, blah blah blah, all the good stuff. So as a patient, I expect to be listened to and understood, and I've expressed in the past that I have not always had the best experiences with being understood, especially by my APRN. Not quite sure why. I have my ideas, but that's another story. But long story short, I felt like I could confide in my APRN, and something in me just made me break down. I was holding a lot of things and having problems, with finding a good therapist, and still dealing with the moving on, and relationships, family, romantic life, all that. I've just all around, it's just been some crap, and I just broke down, and I did let her know that I was feeling down, and I've had problems with self-harming in the past, and I tried to confide in her that I was showing those old tendencies, and it was almost as if her mind didn't know how to react and comfort me at all in that time. It was just, instead of her trying to understand and ask, she jumped to conclusions and she sent me straight down to the psych emergency room without even trying to necessarily understand. I understand that you're worried, but to have put me in the situation that she did was extremely traumatizing, and in a way I felt led on. I was told that I was going to be down there for about have half an hour wait to see a clinician, to talk to them about what's going on with me and see what they could do to help me. But instead, it wasn't like that at all. I had people that were not making my situation any easier, to say the least. And I ended up being pretty much locked up at the psych ER for 10 hours. And it was traumatizing. And I was just supposed to go to the hospital for a regular checkup. And because I expressed how depressed I was and that I was describing self-harm tendencies, I was shipped straight to the psych ward, ER, and the fact that I wasn't even trying to be understood and that I was just put down there for observation and questioned and just looked at so crazily for hours and hours and hours was absolute torment. And I just didn't have the right mindset at the time to make a correct video, and I can only show and I can only tell you guys so much as to how I can only really describe so much as to how disrespected and how traumatized I felt. And I had to actually finally step in, make my point, and let my team of clinicians, psychiatric clinicians, let them know that, hey, I don't feel like I'm getting the help that I need. I'm sorry, but I don't want to deal with your crappy intern anymore. I didn't say crappy. I didn't deal with your intern. I can't deal with your intern anymore. I'm still not even fully recovered from losing my last clinician that I really grew on, who has been through my cancer journey with me right up until probably a month before I was announced cancer-free, and that was a really hard transition. But it took something really scary and traumatizing for me to finally be able to let everybody know that I'm not getting the help that I need. My depression medication just not doing enough anymore, and I really do need the help. And they were completely more understanding, and my clinician made sure that I was being understood, and she got where I in a sense, she got where I was coming from. And long story short, she was very disappointed in my oncology team's reaction to me expressing my feelings when that's what I'm supposed to do. My clinician told me that was not the right thing for them to do, and that they would never first jump to putting you in the psych ER under hours and hours of observation unless they seriously felt that I was in harm's way to myself and or others. And that was very reassuring, because I felt like I was being coerced to stay there. I was told multiple times that if I go there it'll be voluntary, and it was just a really, really scary time. And I just, I've gotten over it now, and I've talked to who I've needed to talk to, but it's still a memory that's going to be engraved in my mind for a really long time. But that's about it for right now. That's all I can do. I'm not going to say at all that they don't necessarily care. They just are very ignorant when it comes to dealing with the mental illness. I'm disappointed knowing that I don't feel comfortable with my oncology team knowing about my mental wellness. If they need to know anything, I will go to my clinician, and my clinician will contact them. And anybody else that's going through that, if you feel the need to keep your mental health to yourself and to go through maybe a therapist, psychiatrist, your clinician, to feel more comfortable about talking about your mental health, go through them. Because at this point, not all cancer doctors are specialized or even maybe focusing on the mental wellness of, no, I have a plan, I'm sticking to it. I'm just glad that my voice is going to be heard now, and that I'm finally going to get proper help. So, just wanted to let you guys know that.